handoff here. Let's see, the officials are separating the ball clubs, and Richland will receive. Kennewick will be on defense to start things off here. So let's set up your starting lineups for tonight's ball game. Richland on offense will first set up the Bombers for you. Playing up front, the offensive center, Eric Gibby. The guards, Danny Manning and Nick Chacon. The tackles are Josh Johnston and Sam Martin. The wideouts, Aaron Richardson, Josh Jumberg, Dan Knudsen, and Chad Dumplin. In the backfield, Joel Lechelt will be starting as the tailback, and the quarterback, the 6'1", 192-pound senior, Jared Mitchell. On defense for the Kennewick Lions, up front playing nose guard, Eric Heinlein, the tackle, Andy Griffith, and the other tackle, Zach Ramirez. Outside linebackers are Randy Honest and Brian Shields. Linebackers, Rich Meyer and Tony Pratt. Scott Pratt will be starting as the strong safety tonight. Mike Clark will be free safety. Justin Wagger on one corner, and his brother, Bryce Wagger, on the other corner. Bryce Wagger has the cast off of his broken hand. He may be taking some snaps to quarterback tonight for the Kennewick Lions. It all depends on how this game goes. I'm going to give it a play-by-play tonight. This is a battle between the Cross River rivals, Richland Bombers, the traveling team with the green pants and the white uniforms and green numerals, against the homecoming celebration tonight. Kennewick Lions wearing all black with the white numerals and the orange embroidery. Just about to get underway. A late arriving crowd here tonight, and not a very large-sized crowd at all, making the trip over from Richland. We'll see how the stands across the way fill in as the ball game progresses here. Other games that are going on around the Big Nine tonight, of course, over on 610 Sports with Frank Murray. The Jamaican Braves are in Pasco taking on the Bulldogs. Also another homecoming game tonight. Other games in progress. Eisenhower's at Wenatchee, and Moses Lake is at Davis. Bryce Wagger will kick it off. Back deep to receive Jumberg and Casey Metz for the Richland Bombers. Wagger gets his right foot into it. End over and kick comes down to Metz at the 5. Up across the 10. Going to go on a reverse to Jumberg. Jumberg coming back around the left side. Tackle down at the 15-yard line. Down to make the tackle, Mike Clark for the Kennewick Lions. We're not fooled by the reverse attempt. And the Richland Bombers will begin their first offensive series of the ball game at their own 15. They'll trot it down at the 16-yard line. First down and 10 just underway here in Kennewick tonight. Neil F. Lampson Stadium. We're on the AstroTurf. Trips to the right for quarterback Jared Mitchell. Wide receiver wide left is Joplin. Long back is Lechelt behind him in the backfield. Looking over the defensive front, hands off to Lechelt in the backfield. Not much happening. Good stop up front. Defensively coming up, Tony Pratt on the tackle for the Kennewick Lions. Got some help over there by Brian Shields. Short gain on the play. Gain out to the 18-yard line. A gain of a couple of yards. Second down and 8 from the 18. Just underway. Richland with the football. Traveling from left to right as I look at it here at Neil F. Lampson Stadium tonight. Knudsen and Jumberg go wide right. Richardson and Goplin wide left. Joel Lechelt to the backfield behind Jared Mitchell. Mitchell going to go back to pass. Rolling to his right. Looking back across the field. Going to get some pressure in the backfield and sack. Coming up for the Kennewick Lions, Brian Shields getting the sack. The 6', 220-pound senior. Welcoming the homecoming crowd here tonight on the second offensive play for Richland and sacking quarterback Jared Mitchell. The Bombers have had one heck of a time protecting their quarterback this year. A lot on the play back to the 9-yard line. Need to get to the 26 for a first down. So third down and 17. Ball at the right hash mark. Here come the Bombers. Coming off a tough loss last week to Walla Walla. They led 16-0, lost to 21-16. Mitchell up under center again, trips to the left. 5-man defensive front for Kennewick. Here come the Lions. Mitchell back to pass. Got some pressure. Throws it out. Has a receiver. Incomplete. Jumberg was open at the 25. Scott Pratt on the coverage, but Jumberg had the ball go off his hands. Incomplete. The clock stops with 10:28. And Richland will have to punt the ball away. Punting situation for the Bombers. They had to punt it away. Will be Jeff Leidy back to receive this punt and return it. Will be Mike Clark, a 6 feet, 180-pound senior. He'll stand at the Richland 45-yard line. So Kennewick should get good field position here. See if they go for the block. Leidy standing in the middle of the end zone. Gets the snap back. Oh, big push up front. He got the punt away. Hits at the 45 of Kennewick and takes the... now Mike Clark fields it at the 40, 30. Fumbles the football. Ball's loose on the ground. Looks like Kennewick got it back. Richland saying they've got it. Kennewick jumping up saying they've got it. We'll wait for the official here. Still no official indication yet. First down for Richland on the fumble. Mike Clark on the return. Couldn't see who cover that fumble, but Richland gets it back at the 25-yard line, just like that. So a turnover, and it was turnovers last week for both ball clubs that cost them their games last week, respectively, against Walla Walla and Moses Lake. Kennewick coming off that tough overtime loss to Moses Lake last week. The Richland back on offense at the 25. Mitchell up under center, trips to the right, lone back behind him. Hand off to Lechelt. Lechelt running across, trips across his own feet and falls down. Now a flag coming down late on the play. And that's thrown in the direction of holding on the offense. And that is the signal, preliminary signal here, by the referee, Don Hart. And that's going to be a play called back against Richland. Short gain on the play. They gave Lechelt a gain of 1 yard, but that's going to be negated by the holding call. Got out to the 26-yard line, but the flag resting down right at the line of scrimmage. And that's exactly what the call is, holding against the Richland Bombers. So the first penalty of the ball game going to march Richland back. A 10-yard penalty from the... So that'll set it back to the 16-yard line. So first down all over again. Need to get to the 35 for a first down. First down at 19 for the Richland Bombers. Jared Mitchell, the quarterback, a 6'1", 192-pound senior up under center. Very Gibby, the center. Trips to the short side to the right. Brian Shields looking like he wants to come. Here he comes. Handoff to the second man through Casey Metz with the football. 20, 25-yard line. Got back to the original line of scrimmage. First carry of the ball game for Casey Metz. Coming into the ball game with 10 carries for 51, or let's see, he has 34 carries and 140 yards on the season and 1 touchdown. Casey Metz with a pretty good run there after the 25. So again, give him 10 yards on the game, so second down and 10. Ball back to the original line of scrimmage to 25, shaded towards the right hash mark. Joplin and Knudsen go wide left. Johnberg goes split right. Aaron Richardson split left. Back to pass goes Mitchell. Got some pressure. Throws it downfield to Johnberg. He gets it to the 40. He's loose to the 50. It's a race towards the end zone. Marks after him. Johnberg is gone. 5. Touchdown Richland. No flags. Josh Johnberg got the football at the 40-yard line, and he was off to the races. Scott Pratt made the gamble, drove for the football instead of the receiver, and Josh Johnberg off to the races down the near sideline. Touchdown for the Richland Bombers. 75-yard touchdown pass and catch to Josh Johnberg from Jared Mitchell, and just like that, Richland strikes first to quiet this homecoming crowd with 9:12 left in this first quarter of play. Second down at the 25, and they strike for 75 yards on the touchdown play. Colin May will try the extra point. Mitchell will spot it down. The spot down to kick up. That is good. We'll break away for 60 seconds and come back. Your score with 9:12 left in the first quarter. Richland 7, Kennewick nothing. Here at Neil F. Lampson Stadium, the Richland Bombers strike here early and quiet this homecoming crowd in Kennewick tonight. Josh Johnberg on the receiving end of a pass from Jared Mitchell. 75 yards down the field later. He's standing in the end zone. Touchdown Richland. Extra point up and good. And with 9:12 left here in the first quarter of play, Richland out on top of Kennewick, 7-0. Colin May will kick it off. And back to receive is Scott Pratt. The ball coming up the near side is David Bruce. No, Scott Pratt will pick it up to the 15. Coming across the 20. Switches hands with the football. Going to be tied in across the 20 to the 23-yard line on the return. So Kennewick had a chance. They came in their first defensive series. Stopped Richland 3 and out. They got the punt. Mike Clark returning the punt, but fumbling it. Richland got it back at the 25-yard line. They had a 10-yard penalty. Casey Metz took the ball 10 yards back to the line of scrimmage, and then 75-yard pass play from Mitchell to Johnberg. Kennewick on offense. Willie Kahn, the quarterback. Ball started at the 23-yard line. First down for Kennewick. Kahn back to pass. Throws it over the middle for Johnson. And struggling catch at the 40. Beautiful catch by Randy Johnson. Casey Metz stepped in front to try to knock the ball away. Randy Johnson, good concentration to come down with the football across the 40 to the 41. First down for the Lions. Clock running with 8:57 here left in the first quarter of this ball game. Richland on top, 7-0. Willie Kahn, the quarterback. Preston Radford and David Bruce in the backfield behind him. They go pro set. Wide receivers wide either side. Handoff going to go first man through to Preston Radford. Radford gets a couple of yards before he's onside by a host of Bombers. Josh Johnston in there on the tackle. Also coming up, Jaron Mitchell on the stop for the Richland Bombers after a short gain on the play. Got it out to the 43-yard line. So again, of a couple of yards on the first carry of the ball game by Preston Radford. Radford last week had over 100 yards rushing in that overtime loss against the Moses Lake Chiefs. Second down at the 43, ball at the left hash mark. I-backs behind Willie Kahn. Now they shift. Randy Johnson shifts from left to right. Wide receivers wide to either side. Kahn with a long count. Turns, going to go option right hand to the first man through. That's David Bruce with a carry. Gets it across the 45. And a cloud of astro dust, and that's about it. On the tackle for Richland, Nick Steele on the bottom of the stack. Also got some help from Steve Chapman up front. So a third down and long situation. Need to get to the Richland 49 for a first down. Kennewick's got it at the 45 of the Lions. Personnel shifting back and forth. We got an official's timeout here for untied shoelace. David Bruce leans down and ties his left shoe. 7:39 with the clock stopped here momentarily left in this first quarter. Kennewick trailing 7-0 here in the early going. The Cross River rivalry here tonight at Neil F. Lampson Stadium. A sparse crowd from Richland. Still lots of room for you Bomber fans to come to the ball game tonight if you're on your way. Willie Kahn comes up, looks at the 4-5-man defensive front for Richland. I-backs behind him. Bruce and Radford turns, hands it off first man through Bruce, and he gets it across the 45. Not much more than that. He's going to be short of the first down as David Bruce carried across the 45. They'll spot him down at the 47-yard line, so a gain of 4 yards. So we've got a punting situation. So Kennewick, after the first down pass to Randy Johnson, going to kick it away here. Ball spotted the 47. Back to kick, Andy Turner. Turner gets a right-footed kick away. Good high kick coming down to Jelmberg at the 5. Jelmberg at the 10, up across the 15 to the 20, looking for a block on the far sideline. 25, broke a tackle out across the 25 to the 28-yard line. We could get a foul coming up after the play. No, they're not going to call it. Scott Pratt untied him on the far sideline in front of the Richland bench and threw him down out of bounds. But no penalty called. And Richland will get the ball back here. And we have a Kennewick Lion down on the play. See if I can get a number there for you. Looks like Corey Cavender, maybe, number 91. He's down at the 21-yard line. That looks like number 91 to you, Steve. 6:44 left here in the first quarter play. 7-0 to score. Richland will get the football back after the return by Jelmberg out to the 28-yard line. So they'll begin their third offensive series with 6:44 left in the first quarter play and leading it 7-0. I believe that is Cavender that's down on the play. He's got the training staff out for Kennewick looking at him about the 19-yard line. Let's check back to the station real quick to producer engineer Michael Bivens to see if we can get an early score on that Kennewick and Pasco game. Michael?
Well, right now it's still 0-0 at that game.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. And we'll keep you up to date on that game as well as other games happening throughout the league tonight. Eisenhower is at Wenatchee. Moses Lake is at Davis. And Cavender comes to his feet. A little shake it up. It doesn't seem to be too worse for the wear. And he'll come back to the sideline. Cavender coming in on the punt coverage team for the Kennewick Lions. Kennewick in all black tonight and celebrating their homecoming. The Kennewick Lions backs against the wall after that loss at overtime, tough overtime loss last week. The game you heard right here on FM 105.3 against Moses Lake. Kennewick now 3-3 on the outside looking in. 4 playoff spots available. Kennewick right now in 5th place. Richland, meanwhile, they've got the 3rd place spot nailed down for the time being. Richland on offense. Mitchell up under center. Looks over the defense. Going to turn, hand it off to Lechelt. Lechelt across the 30 out to the 33-yard line. Actually on the carry was Paul Stevenson. His first carry of the ball game. So Stevenson gets a gain across the 30 out to the 33. So a gain of 5 yards on first down for Paul Stevenson in his first carry of the ball game. Second down and 5, 6:22 clock running. Richland with the football and the lead, 7-0. Gotland and Richardson go wide left, and Jelmberg and Knudsen come wide right. Stevenson alone back. Mitchell back to pass. Quickly throws it to Goplin. Goplin gets the football. Almost it. Ball loose on the ground. Richland looked like they covered it at the 43. It was close to call whether it was a reception or not. The official on the far sideline did say it was a catch. And then Goplin fumbled the football. It took a lucky bounce, and Aaron Richardson recovered it at the 43-yard line. Good enough for a first down for the Bombers. Still some sloppy ball handling here in the early going of this ball game. So Richland with a first down. Ball at the 43-yard line of the Bombers. Ball at the left hash mark. Jared Mitchell brings his line up to the scrimmage. Three receivers to the right, split left. Lone back is Casey Metz back into the ball game. He gets the handoff. Not much happening up front. Kennewick coming up and making a good stop on the play. Looks like Brian Shields got in there first to wrap up Casey Metz in the backfield. Metz kind of back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard more out to the 44. So second down and 9 at the 44. Defensively up front for Kennewick, Andy Griffin, Eric Heinlein, and Zach Ramirez. Randy Austin, Brian Shields are the outside linebackers. Inside linebackers, Rich Meyer and Tony Pratt. Justin Wagger and Bryce Wagger are the corners. Mitchell up under center again. Twins to either side. Lone back is Metz in the backfield behind him. Here comes Brian Shields on a blitz from the backside. Mitchell passes over the middle. Incomplete to Aaron Richardson at the 45 of Kennewick. Richardson getting some pressure in the backfield. Brian Shields coming from his outside linebacker position virtually untouched and forcing the quarterback Jared Mitchell to throw it a little bit sooner than he wanted to. He had Aaron Richardson open over the middle, but had to throw the ball too quickly. Couldn't get it to Richardson, so the clock stops with 5:06 and a third down and long situation. Ball at the 44 of the Bombers. Wide receivers two to either side for Jared Mitchell. Goes back, takes the handoff to Casey Metz, and gets some pressure in the backfield, gets away from his intended tackler. Now he's going to be hog-tied as he got back to the line of scrimmage and not much more. Finally coming up with a stop for the Lions, Rich Meyer catching Jared Mitchell, giving a gain of a yard out to the 45, but a punting situation for the Bombers. Talking with both coaches this past week about this ball game, both of them figured this would probably be a defensive skirmish here tonight. And except for one 75-yard passing play for Jared Mitchell, it has been so far. So fourth down, the ball is the 45 of Richland. Leidy will punt it away. Clark will try to return this one and try to hang on to it. This time stands at his own 23. Leidy with the punt away. A low end over end punt. Clark fumbles the football, collects it at the 29-yard line, and absolutely drilled. Casey Metz hurrying down the field. Clark took his eye off the football. Had the ball go away from him, but it took a lucky bounce on this after back right to his chest. And just about the time the ball got to his chest, so too did Casey Metz. So Kennewick's second offensive series of the ball game will begin at its own 29-yard line. First down. Kennewick trailing 7-0 here in the early going at Kennewick tonight. Still a few fans are strolling into the stadium here tonight for the Kennewick Lions. Willie hands the ball off to Preston Radford. Breaks one tackle over the line of scrimmage by Jeff Leidy. He gets it across the 30 out to the 32-yard line. So again, it's about 3 yards on first down for Preston Radford. Ball spotted at the 32-yard line of Kennewick. Lions on offense will set up the offense for you. Ryan Rumley, the center. Nick Van Hollenbeek, the guard. The other guard, Gordon McClary. Terry Finney and Eric Seidel are the tackles. The wide receivers, Joe Mackey and Greg Brooks. The tight end is Randy Johnson. In the backfield, Preston Radford, David Booth, the backs. The handoff again going up the middle and not much happening up front. Defensively again for Richland. That time was Steve Chapman. Gain of a few yards out to the 35-yard line. And David Booth on the carry again. So a third down situation coming up for the Lions. The ball at the 35. They need to get just beyond the 39 for a first down, so call it third down and 4. Brooks comes wide left. Mackey goes wide right. Johnson slot right. Full set backfield behind Willie Kahn. Kahn back to pass. Rolling to his right. Got some time. Throws it down over the middle. Overthrows the intended receiver. Mackey at the 48. Had him open over the middle, but couldn't quite get it down. And the ball falls incomplete, stopping the clock with 3:06 here left in the first quarter. And again, a punting situation for the Kennewick Lions. Kennewick twice this year has had success in the fake punt. They had success last week against Moses Lake. There's a look like they have that in store this time here against Richland. Andy Turner, high snap, goes over his head, hits at the 15. He's going to kick it up at the 10. He is trying to put the ball away. Now he runs across the 20 to the 25, tackle down there. High snap over the head of Andy Turner. He had to race back to the 10, collected it, had time to punt it away, but then thought better of it and tried to run it. Got it to the 25 where he's tackled down. So Kennewick, another error on special teams, and Richland with perfect field position at the line, 26. Richland set up in prime territory here. The Bombers found themselves set up several times last week against Waha in prime territory, but couldn't connect on all times. So Mitchell up on his center at the 26. Back to pass, throwing to his right, throwing to Johnberg in the end zone. Overthrows him at the 2. Mitchell got leveled as soon as he got rid of the football. Again, the pressure up front applied by Randy Ost that time as he laid Jared Mitchell. Mitchell a little shaken up as he heads back to the huddle. Second down at the 26, and yet another miscue for the Kennewick Lions on the special teams. Clock stops at 2:58 here left in this first quarter play. Richland with the football and leading. High score 7-0. Knudsen comes wide right. Richardson, Johnberg, and Goplin go wide left. Lechelt the back behind him. He gets the handoff. Gets across the 30 or inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Tried to break the tackle in the backfield to Randy Ost, but couldn't quite do it. Ost got some help finally by Rich Meyer and Tony Pratt. Give him a gain down to the 24-yard line. So a third down coming up for Richland here. The ball spotted at the 24-yard line. Gain of a couple of yards on the play by Lechelt. Stevenson comes in. Lechelt comes out to give the play to Jared Mitchell. Knudsen and Johnberg come right. Goplin and Richardson go left. Stevenson alone back behind Mitchell in the backfield. Mitchell back to pass again. Got some pressure up front. Screen pass over the middle to Johnberg. Johnberg collected at the 25, 20. Breaks the tackle, 10, 5. Touchdown Richland. Nobody touched Josh Johnberg. He just raced through the middle of the field untouched. Looked like a sixth grader running to recess. Josh Johnberg finds his way to the end zone. Touchdown Richland. Boy, he made that look awfully easy. 2:05 left in the first quarter, and Richland's up 13-0. Extra point still to come. A third down situation. Kennewick let Josh Johnberg loose for the touchdown. 24 yards on the touchdown pass from Mitchell to Johnberg. The extra point forthcoming. Colin May will kick it away. The kick up. It's good. We'll break away for 60 seconds and come back to score with 2:05 left in the first quarter. It's Richland 14, Kennewick nothing. Off Lampson Stadium, and the lead now for the Bombers, 14-0, thanks to two special team concepts of the football by the Kennewick Lions. The drive starting at the Kennewick 26, only 3 plays, 26 yards to 24-yard pass play and touchdown from Jared Mitchell to Josh Johnberg. Extra point up and good, and with 2:05 left in the first quarter, it's Richland 14, Kennewick nothing. Colin May to kick off after the touchdown for Richland. The right-footed kicker gets into it. End-over-end kick coming down to Scott Pratt at the 5. Pratt fumbles the football. Is looking for it. Finally collects it. Can't get it at the goal line. Finally picks it up. And he's down at the 1. Scott Pratt couldn't find the football. He kept looking up. While he was trying to pick up the football. Couldn't pick it up. Richland finally smothering him at the 1-yard line. So another special teams blunder by the Kennewick Lions sets the offense up at its own 1-yard line. Willie Kahn will work out of his own end zone. David Booth and Preston Radford, the backs behind him. Brooks comes wide left, Mackey goes wide right, Johnson left right, and Willie Kahn takes a center sneak for a couple of yards over the middle. Kahn kept it up over the middle, just following his center. Ryan Rumbly for a couple of yards, trying to give themselves some breathing room here. Let's start it down at the 3-yard line, so again of a couple of yards on the dive play, just the straight quarterback keeper. Kennewick begins beginning this series with just under 2 minutes left in the first quarter play, trailing 14-0. Second down at the 3. Need to get to 11 for the first down. Throws it back to behind Willie Kahn. Kahn going to go option, and he throws it in the end zone. David Bruce recovers it for a safety. Willie Kahn fumbled the football as he was being tackled. The ball came free. David Bruce recovers in the end zone. 2 points for the Richland Bombers. Well, so far we talked about that full moon before the ball game tonight. It has been a bad moon rising for the Lions. 1-11 on the safety. Fumbled by Willie Kahn, trying to go option right. Covered by Bruce in the end zone. All he could do is lay down on the football as a swarm of green and white jerseys pounced on him for the 2-point safety. So now the score 16-0. With 1:11 left in this first quarter play, and Kennewick's going to have to give Richland the football back. They have the choice, the option of either punting it or kicking it off. Usually teams tend to punt in this situation. Andy Turner is the best punter in the Big Nine. So we'll see if Coach Ted Homme decides to do that here. So when it rains, it pours so far for the Kennewick Lions. 3 miscues, 2 on the special teams. That time on Willie Kahn, the quarterback, fumbling the football in the end zone. He did take a pretty good hit, but boy, you get down close to your end zone like that, you got to tuck that football away. Kennewick last week in that loss to Moses Lake fumbled the football 6 times. They gave it away 5 times. The last 2 fumbles came on their last 2 offensive series in the fourth quarter that really cost them the football game. They have the football twice inside the 10-yard line and fumbled it away both times. Well, they're going to tee it up here. Bryce Wenger will kick it off. They spot the ball at the 20-yard line of the Lions to kick off after this 2-point safety. Let's check back with Michael, see if we can get a score on that Pasco game real quick.
Well, right now it's Kennewick 7 and Pasco 0.
And you score here after the 2-point safety by the Richland Bombers is 16-0 with 1:11 left in the first quarter. Bryce Wagner will kick off for Kennewick following the safety. The ball teed up, shaded to the left of the field at the 20-yard line. Back to receive Casey Metz and Josh Gilbert standing at their own 26. And kind of a spiraling duck kick over the middle, coming down to the 40 up across midfield, and the return for Richland was Colin May on the return. He got it across the midfield stripe, and Richland starting in fantastic territory again into Kennewick territory. They'll mark it down at the Lion 47-yard line. So first down for Richland, starting the offensive series. Richland scoring drive started at the 25 of Kennewick, the 26 of Kennewick. Then they start this drive at the 47 of Kennewick. First down, Jared Mitchell hands it off to Lechelt. Lechelt finding not much on the left side. Lechelt on the carry was caught from behind by Randy Ost after a short gain. That will maybe give him half a yard on the play. So officially no gain. Second down and 10 here for Richland. Lechelt will check out. And Casey Metz comes in with a play, gives it to Jared Mitchell. Knudsen and Gilbert come right. Richardson and Goplin go left. Back to pass. The swing pass after Casey Metz makes a nice grab at the midfield stripe and is immediately tackled. Coming up on the play, Justin Wagner on the tackle. Also got some help on the near side from Tony Pratt after a short gain on the pass play by Casey Metz. Give him a gain of a yard to the 46. So that didn't work all that well. Ball spun at the right hash mark at Kennewick, and that's going to bring us to the end of 1 quarter of play. We'll break away for 60 seconds and come back. It's a quiet home crowd here for homecoming 1996 for the Lions. After 1 quarter of play, it's Richland 16, Kennewick nothing. Well, a very quiet home crowd here tonight in Kennewick. After one quarter of play, it's 16-0. Richland out on top. Third down and 9 for the Bombers. Mitchell up under center. Six-man defensive front for Kennewick. Here come the Lions. Mitchell back in. He's sacked in the backfield. At the midfield stripe coming up from both the outside linebackers, Randy Oz and Brian Shields, converging on the tackle to sack the quarterback, Jared Mitchell. First sack of the ball game. They had a tackle for a loss on Mitchell. They're back to the 50-yard line, so a loss of 4 yards on the play and a punting situation for the Bombers. Jeff Leidy will punt it away, and Scott Pratt in there this time to return the punt at his own 10-yard line. Leidy awaits the snap, good snap, and the punt away. High punt, going to come up to the short man. Justin Wagner gets it at the 20, to the 25, 30-yard line and tackled down. Jaron Mitchell came up and made the stop on Justin Wagner on the punt return. He got it out of bounds at the near sideline. 11-13 here left in the first half of play. Kennewick with the football. This is their fourth offensive series. Let's start this one at the 30-yard line. Best field position so far for the Lions in this ball game. Kennewick on offense. Willie Kahn still the quarterback. Bryce Wagner has the cast off his hand. But Kahn still in there. Going to go pitch left. And the pitch out to the running back. With the ball that time. Running it was Monty Nelson. Nelson with a short gain across the 30. First time I've seen Monty Nelson in the offensive backfield for the Kennewick Lions. Up across the 30 out to the 31-yard line. So a gain of a yard for Monty Nelson on his first carry. Ball shaded to the left here as we get ready for second down and 9 for the Lions. Ryan Rumbley, the center, comes up. Gordon McCleary and Nick Van Hollenbeek will set up next to him as the guards. Preston Radford and Monty Nelson still in the backfield, or Bruce in the backfield along with Nelson. Monty Nelson gets the pitch right, and the he gets tackled down at the 31, and a flag coming down in the middle of the field. Looks like it could be a hold again against the Richland Bombers. Richland's been penalized so far one time Kennewick has not been penalized yet, but the hold coming against the Lions, I was thinking of Richland on offense. So one penalty apiece now for both ball clubs, both holding in the middle of the field. They stopped him short on the play. It'd be a second down and 9 if they take, or a third down and 9 if they take the play, or looks like they're going to push him back here. Jeff Leidy, the captain on defense for Richland, tells the referee Don Hartberger on to go ahead and take that penalty, shove him back and play a little field position here. 10-yard penalty back to the 21-yard line. So one penalty apiece for both ball clubs, 10 yards in penalties apiece for both ball clubs. As the ball goes back to the 21, second down at the 21, need to get to the 40 for a first down to the Kennewick Lions. Willie Kahn, the quarterback, settles in up under center. Ryan Rumley twins to the left for Kahn. Monty Nelson and David Bruce in the backfield behind him. Back to pass goes Kahn, looking to his left, throws to his left. Has Mackey at the 30, tackled down immediately as he got back to the original line of scrimmage. Coming over making the stop was Mark Wagenglass for the Richland Bombers, as Joe Mackey got to his first reception of the ball game. Kahn so far is 2 of 3. Gained that time out to the 30-yard line. So a third down coming up for the Lions. Willie Kahn up in the center. Mackey and Johnson go wide right. Brooks goes wide left. Throws it backfield again. Kahn back to pass, rolling to his right. Got some pressure in the backfield. Throws it down. Almost intercepted at the 40, but the ball falls incomplete out of bounds. Pass intended for Mackey on the near sideline, coming up and making a good defensive play. Colin May to knock the ball away. Almost got the interception, but the ball falls incomplete. Stops the clock with 9:22, and once again, the Lions will have to punt it away. Fourth down at the 30. Third punting situation for the Lions here. In fact, the Lions only had one first down so far in this ball game. Andy Turner will punt it away. Jumberg will receive it. Turner gets it away as heavy pressure up front. Jumberg will collect it at the 37. Flips the tackle and gets across to the 40-yard line, and that's all on the return for Josh Jumberg. So Richland already with its 6th offensive possession of the ball game. This time at its own 40-yard line. Richland winning the battle of field position so far and winning the ball game in this first half, 16-0 with 9:12 left in the first half of play. Back and forth we go on the AstroTurf tonight at Neil F. Lampson. Richardson and Johnberg come wide left. Knudsen goes wide right. And Leidy in the backfield behind Mitchell. He gets the handoff, a short gain over the middle across the 40. A shoe comes flying loose. And it was Leidy's shoe that came off. So Leidy will have to slip that shoe back on his left foot. Short gain on the play for Leidy up across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. Second down and 7 forthcoming for the Richland Bombers. Really quiet crowd here tonight for the Kennewick Lions. Miscues offensively and special teams in that first quarter. And they trail 60-0 here. Mitchell up under center. 4 receivers in the set. Long back again behind him. Stevenson back in the backfield. Mitchell back to pass. Has Johnberg at the midfield stripe. He's fighting for the first down yardage. And I think he got it on the second effort. Scott Pratt had him hog-tied, but Johnberg kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And he's awfully close to the first down yardage in midfield. I think they are going to give him the first down. They will. So a 7-yard pass play from Mitchell to Johnberg. Johnberg now in the ball game with 3 catches for 105 yards, 75 of that coming on 1 pass play. And Mitchell in the ball game 5 of 8 for 115 yards and 2 touchdowns, both of those to Johnberg. Ball at the midfield stripe, first down. Trips to the left for Jaron Mitchell. Owen back behind him in the backfield with Stevenson. Takes the handoff. Play action. Mitchell rolling to his left. Throws back to Aaron Richardson. Trying to make a juggling catch at the 40. Couldn't quite come up with the football. Mitchell got some pressure in the backfield. Again coming up, Brian Fields and applying the pressure on the quarterback. And threw a little bit behind the intended receiver, Aaron Mitchell, at the 40-yard line. Mitchell tried to reach back with his right hand, running to his left and trying to make a juggling catch, but couldn't quite come up with the football. So second down and 10, ball at the midfield stripe with 7:58 left in the first half. 16-0 the score. Early score we had from Kennewick and Pasco over in Pasco tonight. The Braves leading the Bulldogs 7-0. Mitchell under center again. 6-man defensive front. Let's see if the lines come. Here they come. Mitchell back to pass. Goes over the middle. Johnberg catches the ball and wickedly hit by Scott Pratt, but he hangs on at the line. 37 for a first down, Bombers. Pratt came up and laid a hit on Josh Johnberg. Johnberg did a great job hanging on to the football at the 37. First down for Richland. Gain of 13 yards on a pass play from Mitchell to Johnberg. Bombers just having their way with Kennewick so far in the football game. 7.5 minutes left in the first half. Trips to the left for Mitchell. Mitchell going to go back, take the handoff, rolling to his right, looking downfield, throws it to Goplin at the 30. He slips down at the 29-yard line. Chad Goplin, the 6'2", senior, slips down as he got the football inside the 30. They spot him down at the 28-yard line. Have to make the stop on the far side for the Lions was Tony Pratt. So second down and short coming up here. Let's see if the Bombers decided to go for the end zone on 2nd and 1. Ball at the 28. Need to get just about to the 27 for a first down. Mitchell under center again. Trips to the left. Lone receiver wide right. Mitchell back, going to go quickly downfield, throws it over the middle. Johnberg again with a catch over the middle at the 15. Inside the 15 to the 14. Scott Pratt again on the coverage with Josh Johnberg between the defender and the quarterback. The ball coming right to him. A quick drop and quick pass by Jared Mitchell, again finding Josh Johnberg over the middle for the catch. Just a quick slant pattern. Good play calling by the offensive coordinator and by Lonnie Pearson for the Richland Bombers, not giving that defensive pressure by Kennewick a time to get in and get hands in the face of the quarterback, Jared Mitchell. So a first down play, the ball spotted down at the 8-yard line, 20-yard play from Mitchell to Johnberg. Mitchell again under center, 4 receivers in the set. Back going to hand off to Stevenson. Stevenson kind of nearly on the draw play. Kennewick did a good job smelling that one out. Again on the tackle, Randy Oss. He got some help up front by Zach Ramirez on the tackle for Kennewick. No gain on the play. Second down and 10 coming up for the Richland Bombers. second down at the 13-yard line. Wrestling the 8. Sorry about that. Second down at the 13. Clock running with 5:52. 16-0 the score. Richland knocking on the door again, and the lead 16-0. Trips to the left for Mitchell. Back to pass again. Goes to Richland quarterback and is trying to swing it out to Casey Metz. Big pressure in the backfield again from the outside linebacker position. Nobody picking up. Randy Oster, Brian Shields as they come in untouched. Looked like they were trying to set up the screenplay there to Casey Metz perhaps. But Mitchell turned. He didn't even have time to look downfield as he had two big black jerseys coming right out of number 56 and number 54 right in his face where he unloads the football. The clock stops at 5:40 on the incomplete pass. Ball still resting at the 13-yard line. Third down coming up for the Bombers. Lampson will go wide right. Joplin and Jelmberg come wide left and slot left. Goes Aaron Richardson. Mitchell with a long back behind him in the backfield, looking at the defensive front for Kennewick. Going to loft it up in the end zone, looking for Jelmberg. Touchdown, Richland! Beautiful catch for Josh Jelmberg in the corner of the end zone. Jelmberg absolutely laying out for the football. Scott Pratt with his hands on his hips. What can you do? He had him fairly well covered. Mitchell, a fantastic pass as well, laying it out there for Jelmberg to go get it. 3 touchdowns now for Josh Jelmberg in the ballgame. 5:33 left in the first half. And Richland with a commanding 22-0 lead. So Richland taking the ball 60 yards. In 9 plays, Colin May tries to tack on the extra point. The kick is up. And it's good. We'll break away for 60 seconds and come back with 5:33 left in the first half of play. It's Richland 23, Kennewick nothing. Well, we've got a blowout in the making here so far through quarter and a half in Kennewick tonight. The Richland Bombers lead the Kennewick Lions 23-0. Michael, back in the station, what's the latest on that Pasco-Kamaikan game?
Last we heard it was Kamaikan 14 and Pasco 0.
And Colin May will kick it off following the touchdown. Scott Pratt will return it. He gets the ball at his 5, fumbles it again, picks it up now at the 10, and cracked down hard at the 20, or at the 16-yard line. Coming up and making the stop, David Gonzalez with a hard hit on Scott Pratt. Pratt again fumbled the football. He's taking his eye off that football when it comes down. This time he's able to collect it in, though, and get somewhat of a return out of it. But Kennewick again pushed back in their own end. They'll start this offensive series at their own 16-yard line. 5:27 left in this first half of play. Kennewick trailing 23-0. They need to get something going on offense. Willie Kahn still a quarterback. Eye back behind him. Hand off to Bruce. First man through. Bruce fighting for yardage to the 25-yard line. Nick Steele on the tackle for the Bombers. Jeff Leidy in there as well. A couple of Lions a little slow to get up. Finally rising to his feet was Gordon McCurry. Greg Burks will bring the play in for the Lions. Joe Mackey checks out. Richland on defense. Josh Johnston, Steve Chapman, Sam Martin, and Nick Steele up front defensively. 4-man defensive front to go with a 4-3 defense to the Bombers. Second down, 6. Hand off to Bruce again. Bruce with a yard or 2 before he's tackled down. Steve Chapman wraps up David Bruce after a short gain across the 20 to the 22-yard line. Again, of a couple more yards for Bruce. On a third down coming up for the Lions at their own 22. Third down and 4. 4:19, the clock running here in the first half of play. 23-0 your score. Richland out on top. Bruce and Radford in the backfield behind Willie Kahn. Kahn back and I hand it to Radford this time. Radford gets across the 25 to the 26-yard line, real close to the first down yardage. Good push up front offensively on the line for the Lions. Randy Johnson also doing some blocking downfield as Preston Radford's able to get real close to the first down yardage. The official will say, yes, it is a first down. Gain of 4 yards to Preston Radford. Ball at the 26, and the Lion crowd comes to life finally. That's Kennewick only their second first down in this ball game. 45 left as the clock runs here. Ball at the 26. Going to go option left. Willie Kahn gets it up to Preston Ranford. Up across the 26 to the 27 maybe, and a flag coming out late. We could have a face mask coming down here. Preston Ranford on the carry. The referee, Don Hart, pulling the flag out as the tackle came down. We could have a face mask against the Bombers. Personal foul against Richland. Don Hart did not tell us what the personal foul was, but a 15-yard penalty going to be marched off against the Bombers here. So a first down for Kennewick, then the 15-yard personal foul call against the Bombers. Evidently some extracurricular activity happening as the play was winding down, and the penalty called against the Bombers. The 15-yard penalty marched off after the run. Richland now with 2 penalties for 25 yards in the ball game. So first down, the ball at the 41 of the Lions in the middle of the field. The Lion crowd trying to wake up here. Now a flag coming down again from the far side of the field. Tyree Finney clapping his hands to the Lions, saying it's against Richland. Offside this time against the Bombers. Lonnie Pearson on the far sideline is asking for some assistance from the officials over there to tell him exactly what the problem is. Ball out to the 46 after the offside penalty. 3 penalties and 30 yards. Willie Kahn back, hands it to Preston Ranford, smothered in the backfield. Coming up, making the big hit, Nick Steele on the stop. Big push up front for the Bombers. Josh Johnston in there. Jeff Lighty had 6-7 guys leaking through the offensive line of the Kennewick Lions. A loss on the play back to the 44. So second down coming up for the Lions. Call it second down and 8. Need to get into Richland territory for a first down. Willie Kahn up under center. Randy Johnson slot right. Back to pass goes Kahn, rolling to his right, looking downfield. Throw the flag down on the play. Catch made by Mackey at the near sideline, but a flag in the middle of the field at the line of scrimmage. We could have a hold coming against Kennewick, so that will negate the nice pass and nice catch by Joe Mackey. Flag is down at the 45. That's the line of scrimmage, and Richland Bombers are clapping their hands. This penalty will probably come against the Lions here. 2:38, the clock stops with the penalty here. Left in the first half. Richland out on top of Kennewick, 23-0. The referee, Don Hart, going to say holding against the Lions. So they'll march it back 10 yards. Put the ball down at the 35-yard line, and they'll do second down all over again. So Kennewick after a first down, and then the 15-yard penalty, and then the 5-yard penalty against Richland, now marching backwards themselves. Ball at the 35 of the Lions. Twins to the left. Now another flag coming out. We've got a laundry party here tonight. This flag coming from the near sideline. See what this penalty is. Your official is the referee is Don Hart. Kennewick is marching backwards. Now we've got offside against Kennewick. 5 yards marched against the Lions here. 3 penalties and 25 yards now against the Lions as they march it back to the 30-yard line. So things have slowed to a snail's pace here. 2:38 left in the first half. Kennewick with the football, but going backwards. Ball at the 30. Throws it back to behind Willie Kahn. Kahn back to pass, looking to his left, throws to his left. Mackey has the amazing catch. Oh, he couldn't hang on. Mackey snared it with one hand. Looked like he came down with it, but a couple of hits coming up. Casey Metz on the coverage. David Gonzalez also over there converging on the intended receiver, Joe Mackey, on the far side, and Mackey couldn't come up with a football. The ball falls incomplete, stops the clock with 2:32 left, and we have a timeout taken by the Lions, facing a third down and 21 yards to go. We'll take a 60-second break and come back to score with 2:31 left in the first half. Richland 23, Kennewick nothing. Back here at Kennewick, a third down and 21 for the Lions after the timeout by Kennewick. Willie Kahn goes back to pass, rolling to his right, got some pressure from the backside, throws it downfield, has the receiver Joe Mackey at the 30, Richland, he makes the catch, they're going to say he caught the football at the 29. What a catch by Joe Mackey, and a great throw by Willie Kahn. Rolling to his right, throwing it deep downfield. Mackey came open and makes the grab inside the 30 to the Richland 29-yard line. Mackey had to reach out of bounds to catch the football. Got the ball, got possession before he came down. First down for Kennewick at the Richland 29. Kahn back again, pitching it to the left side for Radford. Makes the tackle in the backfield. He's loose at the 20. Oh, a string tackle to save the touchdown for Richland. Coming up, Casey Metz saving the touchdown. Preston Radford broke a couple of tackles in the backfield, got inside the 20. And down to the 19-yard line. First down for Kennewick. Radford down the ball game with 6 carries, only 18 yards. Another timeout taken here by the Lions. We'll keep it right here for a moment. Checking in again with Michael now back at the studios to see what's the latest on the Kennewick Pasco game.
It's still 14-0, Kennewick over Pasco. We got some other scores for you. Moses Lake is over Davis 7-6. Prosser is over Sunnyside 13-7. And Ike is headed
7-0. The score at that point with 9:12 left in the first quarter of play. Close that backfield. First down at the 19 for Kennewick. Willie Kahn looks over the defense. Back to pass. Throws to his right. Looking for Mackey. Threw it behind him. And a flag coming down. We have put out a late hit against Richland. Kahn was knocked down after he got rid of the football. And a personal foul going to be called against the Richland Bombers. Roughing the passer. Coming up and making the late hit was Jaron Mitchell. Jaron Mitchell making the late hit for the Bombers against Willie Kahn. They'll mark it off half the distance to the goal. The ball was at the 19. 2:03, the clock stops with the penalty. And the ball will be marched inside the 10 down to the 9-yard line. Richland penalized 4 times for 40 yards now. So Kennewick at the 9, first down, ball at the left hash mark. Lions trying to put some points on the board before the halftime, trailing 23-0. Willie Kahn going option left, flips down at the 9-yard line. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it for Willie Kahn. And Preston Radford running out on the pitch, option left. Willie Kahn keeping the football and being tackled down by a host of Bombers as he slipped down to the turf. Second down and goal, ball at the 9-yard line. Clock running with 1:42 left here in the first half of play. 23-0. Richland out on top. Kahn up on his center. Wide receiver Mackey and Johnson come wide right. Brooks to the left. Back to pass, and the ball is almost intercepted. Willie Kahn got big pressure from the backside. Coming up and making the hit to the backside was Jaron Mitchell. Mitchell, who was flagged for the personal foul, late hit on the quarterback, was there in time this time. Willie Kahn didn't have a chance there. As Kahn went back to pass. Coming from the backside was Jaron Mitchell. Mitchell heading him as Kahn was getting rid of the football. They do say that his arm was in forward motion, so an incomplete pass. Good news for the Kennewick Lions. The ball spotted back at the 9-yard line. Third down and goal at the 9. See if Kahn tries to loft it up into the end zone. That's what they tried last week against Moses Lake in the overtime. It didn't work. Johnson goes split right. Kahn back to pass. Lofts it up to Brooks in the end zone. Too far into the corner of the end zone. Brooks well covered in the end zone by Colin May. Also over there was David Gonzalez for a fourth down at the 9. Trailing 23-0. Kennewick's going to try the field goal here. Bryce Legger trots out on the field for the Lions. 1:16, the clock stops with the incomplete pass at a fourth down at the 9. It's going to be a tough angle for Bryce Wagger. The ball is at the left hash mark. See where Mackey will spot it down. He'll spot it at the 17-yard line. So a 27-yard field goal attempt by Bryce Wagger. The spot down, the kick up is blocked. Mackey has it at the 20 to the 15, tackled out of bounds. The kick was blocked. Coming up with the block was Casey Metz for the Richland Bombers. Metz comes flying through and blocking that kick. Didn't have a chance. Bryce Wagger has his kick blocked. And Kennewick's first and only scoring threat here in the first half of play goes awry. So Metz comes flying through and blocks the 27-yard field goal attempt. First down for Richland. The ball spotted at the 9-yard line. Richland back, Mitchell back to pass. Rolling to his left. Lots of time. He's got a century. Throws it over the middle. Aaron Richardson tries to get the catch at the 37. A flag coming down. We could have a hold against the defense here. The flag is resting at the 30-yard line on the near sideline, way away from the play. Clock stops with 1:05 in the incomplete pass. 23-0 to score. Richland just taking care of business here against Kennewick. Illegal man downfield, the call against the Bombers. 1:05 left here in the first half. 23-0 to score. And all Richland so far in this ball game. Kennewick mounting its first serious drive. Its last offensive series starting at its own 16-yard line. Going all the way to the Richland 9, but the drive stalled there, and the 27-yard field goal attempt by Bryce Lager was blocked by Casey Metz. And Richland with the ball back after the blocked field goal. Now after the penalty, they march it back to the 8-yard line. The series started at the 13, so they're marching back to the 8. Mitchell up under center again. Looks like Lechelt behind him in the backfield. Mitchell back to pass, throws it to Knudsen, overthrows him at the 24. Pass a little bit high for Knudsen, running up the far sideline. Scott Pratt on the coverage for Kennewick. 58.7 seconds left. Kennewick has one more timeout left. They can make a stop here on second down. So we use the timeout, maybe try to get this ball back before the end of the half. 58.7 seconds left. Richland with the football at its own 8-yard line. Mitchell on his center again. 4 receivers in the set. Lechelt behind him in the backfield. Going to hand it off to Lechelt. Lechelt breaks the tackle up the middle, up across the 10 to the 15, out to the 18-yard line. Tackle on the play made defensively for Kennewick by Tony Pratt. And a timeout going to be taken, the final timeout by Kennewick. So we'll take a break as well, come back after the 60-second timeout with 42.6 seconds left in this first half. The score, Richland 23, Kennewick nothing.
On Columbia Drive near downtown Kennewick, treat yourself to Hubby's today.
Third down and 6 coming up for the Bombers. Back to pass goes Mitchell. Mitchell rolling to his left. He's going to keep it across the 20, to the 25, 30, 35-yard line, trying to hit out of bounds across the 40. Still breaks the tackle and up near midfield for Jared Mitchell. They stop the clock with 30 seconds left. Mitchell looked like he was going to hit out of bounds. He broke a tackle, and now Richland has a chance to get on the board again. Third down and long, and Kennewick lets him get away again. Ball up to inside Kennewick territory to the 49-yard line. Big run for Jared Mitchell. Back to pass. Throws it to Goplin. Goplin gets out of bounds at the 45 of Kennewick. Stops the clock with 25 seconds left. Richland still, they have all 3 timeouts. Second down coming up at the 45-yard line. 34 yards to run for Scott Mitchell. Jared Mitchell, excuse me. Talking about Kamaikin's quarterback. There we go. Jared Mitchell, the quarterback, after the long run and the pass to Goplin. Second down at the 45 at Kennewick. 5-man defensive front for the Lions. Back to pass goes Mitchell again. Looking downfield. Looking. Has lots of time. Finally unloads the football. Trying to get to Richardson. Bryce Lager trying to tip the ball away at the 10. Ball's incomplete. Lager back, just playing center field back there. Actually, if he would have went for it, had a chance to intercept that football. Pressure in the backfield applied by Charlie Edwards for the Lions, chasing Mitchell around in the backfield. So third down again coming up for the Bombers, who've had good success on third down. It was a third down when Jelmberg caught the pass from Mitchell for his second touchdown of the ball game. And it was also a third down when Johnberg caught his third touchdown of the ball game. Let's see what Richland does here on a 3rd and 7. Mitchell back to pass. No, he hands it off. No, a reverse. Now a bunch of flea flickers. Johnberg going to throw it to the quarterback at the 30, to the 25-yard line. Well, there's a flea flicker for you. Handed the ball off to the back. The back handed it off to Johnberg. Johnberg went back in the backfield to throw it, and Jared Mitchell went downfield to catch it. Good luck, Steve Fuller, trying to keep track of that one on the stat sheet. 8.5 seconds, and Richland will take a timeout. The ball at the 25-yard line. The Bombers trying to get on the board tonight. Stay tuned. We'll be selecting the Tri-City Oil Sunmarks player of the game. $100 goes to the athletic program of the school, and a plaque goes to the player. Mitchell with 8.5 seconds left. Goes back to pass. Looking for the end zone. Throws it to Goplin on the far side. Actually, Johnberg with a catch. Gets out of bounds at the 15 with 3.6 seconds left. And they trot on for the field goal here. Jeff Lighty is coming onto the football field. We'll see if and Colin May comes in too. I think May is the place kicker. See what they decide to try here at the 15-yard line with 3.6 seconds left in the first half. Colin May will try a field goal here. He'll spot it down at the 22, making a 32-yard field goal attempt at the right hash mark. Mitchell will spot it down for Colin May. The snap, the spot, the kick up, it's got the distance. It's no good, wide left. That brings us to the end of one half of play here in Kennewick. It's been all Bombers through one half of play during the Lions homecoming. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back. We're at halftime.
Use game. If you think you've got a problem with alcohol or drugs and you'd like to stop, call 1-800-331-3767 for a free, confidential, professional consultation with one of the Carondelet Lord's treatment coaches. They can help you win where it really counts in your life.
Computer. It's become a part of everyday life. Parents, prepare your kids for the future at Basin Office Systems. Pentium 75 student computer systems start at only $14.95, including free internet service for a year and instruction of the latest programs. Your kids will love it, and you will too. Don't get left behind. Get up to speed with the world of computers at Basin Office Systems. Open every Saturday. Easy access just off 395 and 18th and Lewis Street in Pasco.
We're the boss. Basin Office Ask the boss.
To all you kamikaze potatoes who are upset that Taco John's famous potato olays are getting second billing in our new meat and potato burrito, we at Taco John's say, stop it! Be glad that you're able to share this unique burrito with savory beef, nacho cheese, sour cream, lettuce, and tomatoes. And be glad we're not charging you for all of this damage. The new meat and potato burrito, available for a limited time only at Taco John's.
Taco John's, 4th and Vancouver in Kennewick.
With a half a day left, Lampson getting ready to start this third quarter of play here in Kennewick tonight. The Lions having a long way to go here to get back into this one. The score at the half, 23-0. The cheerleaders out in front trying to get this Kennewick fan back into it, or maybe just trying to warm up here on a chilly October evening. Thanks for tuning in for the Hard Hits of Big Night on Soft Hits FM 105.3. I'm Eric G with your play-by-play, along with Steve Bullock to keep track of the numbers, and Michael Bivens is our producer-engineer back in the studios. Let's again check back in. We'll get the kickoff here. Kennewick will receive. They defer the opening kick, and they'll receive here. Colin May will kick it away, going from left to right. His high end-over-end kick coming down to Scott Pratt at the 5. Up across the 10, 15, 20. Up the middle of the field to the 25, 27-yard line. Scott Pratt, more importantly, hanging on to the football. And starting Kennewick out here in decent field position to start the second half. 11:52 the time as Kennewick will start its first offensive series of the second half at the 27-yard line of Kennewick. Kennewick on offense. Ryan Rumbley the center. Nick Van Hollenbeek, Gordon McClary are the guards. And Willie Kahn, the quarterback, throws the backfield behind him in the backfield. Kahn hands off to David Bruce to the right side, trying to go between the guard tackle hole. Not much happening on the right side for David Bruce. Actually, sorry, that was Preston Radford on the carry. Radford number 5, Bruce number 6. Bradford with the carry. Short gain on the play. They'll spot him down at the 28 for a gain of just a yard. As Kennewick begins its first offensive series of the second half, Willie Kahn, the quarterback, Preston Bradford and David Bruce are the backs in the backfield behind him. Wide receiver wide to the right. Johnson, the tight end, tight to the right to the short side. Handoff again, this time to Bruce. Bruce not finding much at all. Got it to the 29, and that's it. Defensively on the stop for Richland up the middle. Jaron Mitchell in there. Also Josh Johnson on the bottom of the sack. Jeff Leidy in there as well as Nick Steele. The tackles for the Lions, Eric Steidel and Tyree Finney. Randy Johnson, the tight end. Joe Mackey and Greg Brooks, the wide receivers. Brooks comes wide left. Mackey goes wide right. Slot right goes Johnson. Preston Bradford and Bruce the backfield behind Willie Kahn. Kahn back to pass. Rolling to his right. Looking downfield. Throws over the middle. Throws it behind the intended receiver. Mackey goes incomplete at the 45. Closest person was the defender on the play, Colin May. The pass goes incomplete for Kennewick. A dubious beginning to the second half. Jamaica now on top of Pasco by a score of 21-0. And a score here with 10:35 left in the third quarter as Kennewick stalls on its first offensive series of the second half. 23-0 here in the third quarter. Andy Turner will punt it away. Johnberg and Casey Metz back to receive the punt. Good spiraling kick. Turns over for Andy Turner. Comes down at the 25 to Johnberg. Johnberg trying to race around the right, trying to get it around the corner. Not going to do it, though, as he's tied up at the 24. Scott Pratt quickly downfield to make the tackle for the Kennewick Lions. 10 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Richland will begin its first offensive series of the second half after gaining 241 yards of total offense in that first half at its own 23-yard line. Battle of field position in that first half definitely slanted in favor of the Bombers. Richland on offense. Jared Mitchell, the quarterback. Mitchell, 172 yards passing through one half and play. Then the backfield behind him is Lechelt. Four receivers in the set. Ball spot at the right hash mark at the 23. Mitchell backhands it to Lechelt. Lechelt trying to find room up the middle. Not much happening. Black jerseys all over, and the tackle made up front. First on the stop was Rich Meyer. He got some help from Brian Shields on the tackle. As Lechelt maybe got it back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. Second down and 10, the ball at the 23. 23-0 to score. Lechelt will come out, and checking in the ball game is Paul Stevenson. They'll line up behind Mitchell. Richardson and Goplin go wide left. Johnberg and Knudsen come wide right to the short side. Second down and 10, ball at the 23. Mitchell looks back to pass, looking over the middle, throws it over the middle, ball tipped, and knocked down. Rich Meyer got a big fly up and knocked the ball down. It falls incomplete. Stops the clock with 9:37 here left in this third quarter of play. Good play defensively by Rich Meyer, the linebacker, just sitting back in the in a little zone over the middle, watching the eyes of the quarterback. Got his hand up, knocked the ball down. The pass intended over the middle for Aaron Richardson, who is squaring out over the middle. So a third down and 10 coming up here for the Richland Bombers. Kennewick came in that first offensive series of the ball game, or first defensive series, and stopped Richland. Let's see if they can do it here in the second half. Ball receivers in the set again for Jared Mitchell. Stevenson the back behind him. Mitchell rolling to his left, going to throw it. Looking downfield, throws on the near far sideline. And Johnberg makes a catch at the 49. Josh Johnberg with a beautiful catch over the top of the shoulder. Mike Clark on the coverage, Justin Wager over there as well, but Josh Johnberg again with an amazing catch at the 49. First down at the 49-yard line after a 26-yard pass play from Mitchell to Johnberg. After the ball game tonight, we'll be naming the Tri-City Royal Sunmark player of the game. First down at the Bomber 49. Mitchell under center again. In motion from left to right goes Richardson. Hand off to Casey Metz in the backfield. Stop first, and then he's going free into Kennewick territory down to the 46. Charlie Edwards finally coming up with a stop on the quick little back, Casey Metz. Gain inside the Kennewick territory to the 46-yard line. Second down forthcoming after a 5-yard gain on first down. Second down and a short 5 here for the Bombers. no turnovers in that first half. Knudsen and Richardson come wide right. Goplin is wide left. Slot right is Jumberg. Metz in the backfield behind Jared Mitchell. Mitchell backhands it to Casey Metz again. At the 45, cut down. Big tackle up front by Justin Wager. Came up and cut the legs underneath of the ball carrier, Casey Metz, who looks down to make sure his legs are still there as he got up after the play. Gain of a yard down to the 45. A third down coming up for the Bombers. Beautiful play. Form tackle by Justin Wager. Wager, 5'11", 165-pound junior, taking on the comparable-sized Casey Metz, and Wager winning that series. Third down and pilot 4. They need to get to the 41. Trips to the left for Mitchell. Casey Metz rolling back behind him. Handoff to Metz. Metz going up the middle. No, a fake. They throw it to Knudsen. Boy, they faked me out. Mitchell pulled the ball back on his hip and tried to throw it to the near sideline to Knudsen. The ball incomplete. After 38, and Richland will have to pump the football away. Play fake me out. Went for Matt for a fourth down coming up in punting situation for the Bombers. Scott Pratt will go back to return this one, standing in his own 10-yard line. Jeff Leidy will punt it away for the Bombers, standing in his own 41. The snap back, a high snap. Leidy gets it down, and the punt away. A spiraling kick, turns over, coming down away from Pratt, bounces once to the 5 and goes into the end zone for a touchback. And the Kennewick Lions will have the second offensive series starting out at its own 20-yard line with 7:55 here left in this third quarter of play. Let's check back with Michael now and get a score on that Kennewick and Pasco game.
Well, in the third quarter, it's Kennewick 21 and Pasco 0.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. And the score here with 7:55 left in the third quarter. The Lions trailing the Bombers to 23-0. Kennewick, following the stop defensively, will get the ball back here on offense. And an officials timeout. The officials tonight in the ball game: Don Hart, the referee; Ron White, the umpire; Larry Fox, the linesman; the line judge is Mark DeVore. Got a personal foul coming against the Lions on the return. And it wasn't even a return on the play. The punt went into the end zone for a touchback. That's another costly penalty coming against the Lions. Mental error there, and it'll drop him back to the 10-yard line after the penalty. So first down at the 10. First down and 10 for Willie Kahn and company. Kahn back, going to go option. Fumble in the middle. Richland recovers it at the 6-yard line. Willie Kahn tried to hand it off. A little misdirection up the middle. Tried to hand it off. Coming across to get the handoff was Andy Turner, and a little misdirection up the middle, and the misplay between the Kahn and Turner. The ball comes loose, and collecting it for the Richland Bombers is Steve Chapman. First and goal for Richland at the 6-yard line. Mitchell up in his center. 7:50 left here in the third quarter of play. Mitchell going to keep it. Option right. He's smothered in the backfield for a loss back at the 10. Brian Shields on the tackle for the Kennewick Lions, and we have a player for the Lions floor to get up. Shields finally climbs up as Mitchell unstacks. They exchange pleasantries, and Richland will go back to the huddle after a loss back to the 10-yard line. Loss of 4 yards on the play. Second and goal from the 10 for the Bombers after the fumble. Willie Kahn fumbling the football away. Tried a little misdirection of the backfield, tried to hand it off, and a little reverse to Andy Turner. Looks like he hit Turner in the midsection with the football, but Turner just didn't hang on to it. The ball came free, and Richland with the ball in business at the Kennewick 10. Mitchell back to pass, rolling towards the end zone. Looking, has room to run. Got a flag down, a hold coming against the Bombers. Mitchell down to the 5, inside the 5, and tackled out of bounds on the far sideline. Ryan Shields was giving chase in the backfield. He's going to get a hold. I believe that Stevenson was holding Shields, keeping him away from his quarterback as Mitchell rolled to the left. Looking for Johnberg in the end zone. Had lots of green territory, and a hold going to come against the Bombers here. They'll mark it off from the spot of the foul. The flag is resting at the 13-yard line. So they'll mark off the 10 yards from there. Back the Bombers up a little bit. 6:38 left in this third quarter. Richland leading at 23-0. So after the penalty on the second down play, holding the call, they'll mark it back, second down and goal at the 23. Mitchell up under center again. Three receivers to the right. Mitchell fumbles the football. He covers it, and he's down at the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him a loss back to about the 24. Little fisticuffs with shoving, pushing, and shoving happening after the play as Mitchell tried to get the football back and take his own fumble for some yardage. Little shoving and back and forth going as Jared Mitchell thought there was a little bit too much extracurricular activity after the whistle. No penalty flags come down. The loss back to the 24. So a third down and goal coming up at the 24-yard line for Richland. Richland doing a good job on converting on the third down and long so far in the ball game. We'll see if Jared Mitchell looks for Josh Johnberg here. Johnberg will come wide right with Knudsen and Richardson. So trips to the right for Jared Mitchell. And they have a tight end lined up. Goplin is lined up as a tight end left. Casey Metzler back behind Mitchell. Mitchell back to pass, looking over the middle. He's still got some time. Now flush in the backfield and sacked for a loss back at the 34. Making the stop for the Lions, coming up and making the tackle. Greg Heinlein finally getting through and sacking the quarterback, Jared Mitchell. 3 sacks now in the ball game for the Lions. And that effectively taking Richland out of field goal range. So a big play there for the Lions as he dropped back to the 32-yard line. So fourth down coming up, a loss of 8 yards. Richland really marching backwards. They had the ball at the 6. Now it's a 32. 5:48, the clock running here in the third quarter, 23-0 the score. Knudsen comes wide right. They're going to go for it on fourth and goal at the 32. Mitchell up at our center. Going to go back to pass. Looking downfield. Screen pass to Richardson. Falls down at the 34. Kennewick will get it back on downs and really get good field position out of this whole deal. Over on downs. So a good job by the Kennewick defense. They'll take a lighter flyer in their offense here. First down at the 34 for the Kennewick Lions. Third offensive series here of the third quarter. Willie Constill, the quarterback, going to go option left. Pitches it out to Ranford. Ranford gets the block to the 40. Trying to break a tackle to the 43-yard line. Good play, pitch left. Going out to Preston Radford. Coming up from making the tackle is Brian Fisher for the Richland Bombers, but not before Preston Radford gets good yardage to the 43. 5:14 the clock running here in this third quarter of play. Kennewick with the ball, but trailing 23-0. Willie Kahn. Tight formation. Hand off to Radford. Radford with the first down and more across the 45 to the 48-yard line for Preston Radford. On the tackle, Jared Mitchell for the Richland Bombers. But now before Preston Radford gets the first down. Radford down the ball game with 9 carries for just 32 yards. Radford last week against Moses Lake was a machine. Had over 100 yards rushing last week, but all for naught as the Lions lose the football game in overtime to Moses Lake. So first down, the ball spotted at the 47-yard line. A gain of 4 yards for Radford. Pitch back to Radford going right this time. Waiting for his blockers to set up. Gets it up to the midfield stripe. Gain of 3 yards for Radford running right on the pitch right. Second down, the ball at the midfield stripe. Need to get to the Richland just inside the 43 for a first down. Brooks will bring the play in to Jared Mitchell. Or to Willie Kahn, who turned and gives it to the rest of his offensive front. Ryan Rumley, the center, comes up to the ball at the midfield stripe, second down, coming up, second down and 7 for the Lions. Willie Kahn going to pitch it to Radford again, going left this time. Good play defensively coming up. David Gonzalez for the Richland Bombers, tackling Preston Radford in the backfield for a loss. Gonzalez staying calm, reading the pitch, coming up and making a one-on-one tackle in the backfield for a loss of a yard on the play. Third and long situation coming up for the Lions. The ball spotted at the Kennewick 49-yard line. Clock running with 3.5 minutes here. You got to think that Kennewick's going to start going up top here and try to get it downfield and try to get some points on the board, trailing 23 to nothing. Willie Kahn up under center. Slot backs behind him in the backfield. 3 receivers in the set. Kahn going to go option left. He's going to keep it all the way into Richland territory, but not anywhere near the first down yardage necessary. Inside the midfield stripe down into Richland territory, they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 48 as he's finally shoved out of bounds on the near sideline in front of the Kennewick bench. So definitely, I thought I was going to say 4-down territory, but Kennewick's going to be satisfied to punt the ball away here. Andy Turner comes in. He stands at his own 40-yard line. Johnberg and Metz go back to receive it. Boyce Lager a little late coming into the field. Lager just going to take the fake. Lager looking on the option on the fake punt. He's tackled short of the first down yardage. Bryce Lager came in late to the field. They tried the fake punt. It did not work, and Richland gets the ball back at the Bombers' 46-yard line. So the fake punt is short of the first down yardage necessary. Richland gets the ball back in decent field position here at the 46. Not for lack of trying. 3:09 left here in the third quarter. 23-0 the score. Richland on top, then again with the football back. Jared Mitchell still the quarterback. Richardson comes wide right. The lone back is Lechelt behind Mitchell in the backfield. Mitchell turns, sends it off to Lechelt. And tackled in the backfield coming up quickly for Kennewick was Andy Griffin, who he was so quickly into the backfield. Looked like he was in on the play call for Richland. Andy Griffin quickly in there, and the loss on the play back to the 44-yard line. Loss of a couple of yards on the carry by Lechelt. Casey Metz comes in. Lechelt goes out. Johnberg goes wide right with Knudsen. Aaron Richardson and Gofflin go wide left for Jared Mitchell. Mitchell back to pass. Going to close quickly through it. Tipped at the line of scrimmage and almost intercepted at the 48 of Richland, but the ball hitting the turf before Randy Ost to pick it up. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. Ost tried to pick it off at the 48, but the ball falling just a little bit shy of big number 56. Couldn't gather the football in, and with 2:25, the clock stops here. A third down and long situation. Need to get to the 44 of Kennewick for a first down to the Bombers. Gofflin goes wide left. Johnberg and Richardson come wide right. Knudsen also slot left, and Metz still on back behind Mitchell. Takes the hand off to Metz. Mitchell throwing it deep downfield, looking for Aaron Richardson. With the catch at the 20-yard line, tackled down at the 19. And Richardson is hurt. They helped him to his feet. Looked like he came down hurting, but he pops up to his feet. A big play, big catch to throw down the middle of the field. Mitchell just threw it up and waited for Richardson to run underneath of it. First down for Richland at the 19-yard line. Down at the Kennewick 19 for Richland. Metz alone back behind Mitchell. Three-man defensive front for Kennewick. Handoff goes to Metz. Metz inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. Brian Shields on the tackle for Kennewick. Casey Metz with a good run over the right side between the guard tackle hole. Just a straight handoff for Richland. And the yardage down to the 13-yard line. Gain of 6 yards for Casey Metz. Metz now in the ball game. 5 carries for 21 yards. Knudsen goes wide right, slot right goes Ljungberg. Metz in the backfield behind Mitchell. Joplin goes wide left. Mitchell backhands it to Metz again. Metz spins 3 at the 5. Touchdown Richland. Casey Metz cut off of a couple of would-be tacklers at the line of scrimmage and danced right under the end zone. Touchdown Richland. 1:12 left here in the third quarter. 29-0. Richland out on top of the Kennewick Lions here. This is a blowout. Coming into the ball game, no one would have thought so. Colin May will try to tack on the extra point here with 1:12 left. Casey Metz with a second touchdown run of the season. A nice run from 13 yards out. The spot down by Mitchell. The kick up by May. It's good. We'll break away for 60 seconds and come back to score with 1:12 left in the third quarter of play. It's Richland 30, Kennewick nothing. Play. It's the Bombers 30, the Kennewick Lions nothing. The drive starting at the Richland 46. 4 plays, 54 yards. The ensuing kickoff by Colin May coming down to Pratt at the 9-yard line. Across the 15 to the 20, 25-yard line. And out near the 27 before he's tackled down. 54 yards on the drive for the Richland Bombers. The big play, 37-yard pass play from Mitchell to Richardson over the middle, setting Richland up at the Kennewick 19-yard line. 2 plays later, Casey Metz bounces it in from 13 yards out. The extra point up and good. And with 1:12 left in the third quarter, Richland up on top by a score of 30-0. 1:04 left here in the third as Kennewick starts out on offense again at the 22-yard line. Kahn still a quarterback, back to pass, looking to his left, has the pressure in the backfield, gets away from the pressure. A lamed up pass coming down short of the intended receiver, Brooks. Looks like the ball is slipped from the hand of Willie Kahn as he let go of it. The ball intended for Brooks. Brooks tried to cut off his pattern short at the 45 of Richland and come back to the football, but couldn't quite make up that ground as the ball was short. David Gonzalez on the coverage for Richland. 57.9 seconds left here in the third quarter, and Richland pitching a shutout here so far, 30-0. Mackey comes wide left, Andy Turner left as well. Bruce and Radford in the backfield. Tight end, tight right is Randy Johnson. Kahn back pitches it to Radford right. Radford running across the 27 to the 29-yard line, and finally tackled out of bounds on the far sideline in front of the Richland bench. Gain of a couple of yards for Preston Radford. Lions starting this offensive series at its own 23-yard line. So third down coming up. Radford got it to the 30. Actually, the series starting at its own 27-yard line. There we go. 52.3 seconds as Radford got out of bounds. Third down and long. Call it 3rd and 8 for the Lions. 3 receivers to the left. Kahn back to pass. Rolling to his left. Throwing to his left. And a ball intercepted by Gonzalez. To the 30. To the 20. 15. 10. 5. 2-yard line. He's tackled down. David Gonzalez stepping in front of the intended receiver on the near sideline. Picking the ball off. Beautifully timed. Hit the ball on the return down to the 20 or down to the 2-yard line. Actually, they're going to say Gonzalez stepped down at the 7. But an interception by David Gonzalez. Racing down the near sideline, one man to beat, and he was tackled down at the 2, but they say he stepped out of bounds at the 7, so Richland again in scoring position here at the 7-yard line. Mitchell still the quarterback, up under center. Metz the back behind him at the 7-yard line, ball to the right hash mark. Handoff goes to Metz. Metz at the 5, to the 3, to the 1-yard line. He was tackled down short of the end zone. Making the stop, Mike Clark coming up for the Lions. Also Tony Pratt on the tackle for Kennewick, stopping Casey Metz down. They'll mark it down just inside the 2. Second down and goal coming. We'll call it the 2-yard line, so again a 5 yards for Casey Metz. I don't know if they'll get one more playoff here before the end of the third quarter. 10 seconds left with the clock running here. Mitchell idling up behind the center, Eric Gibby. Has him on the right side. Metz behind him in the backfield again. Handoff goes to Metz. Metz driving for the end zone. No signal yet. and he's going to be stopped short of the end zone. So a third down and goal coming up at the 3-inch line for the Bombers when we start the fourth quarter of play. We've played 3 here at Kennewick tonight. It's all Richland. We'll take a 60-second break and come back. Your score as we get ready for the fourth quarter, it's Richland 30, Kennewick nothing.
There's a lot happening all around us. It's tough to keep up. With the news, financial markets, consumer information, everything moves so fast. That's why
against the Kennewick Lions, we've played 3 full quarters. It's 30-0. The Bombers on top and knocking at the doorstep again. Let's check in with Michael back at the station for that Kennewick and Pasco score.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter, it's Kennewick 28 and Pasco 0.
You say 48?
Sorry, 28.
Okay, 28-0. And Richland with a 3rd and goal. Ball inside the 1-yard line. Whitey into the backfield behind Mitchell. He gets a handoff. Touchdown, Richland. Jeff Whitey with the touchdown for the Richland Bombers. And Richland now up 36-0. Richland cranking it on here after the interception by David Gonzalez returned to the Kennewick 7-yard line. 3 plays later, Jeff Leidy takes it in from a yard out for the touchdown for Richland. A 1-yard run by Leidy, who's only in there on short yardage situations. Colin May will try to put up the extra point here. Mitchell to spot it down. The spot down, the kick up, and it's good. We'll come back after a 60-second break. We've just begun the fourth quarter, and Richland scored again. With 11:58 left in the fourth quarter, your score, Richland 37, Kennewick nothing. 37-0 with 11:58 just underway here in the fourth quarter play. The first play of the fourth quarter, in fact, was a 1-yard touchdown run by Jeff Leidy. The extra point by Colin May up and good. And the Kennewick fans are filing towards the exits here. We still have 1 full quarter of ball to play. See if Richland starts getting some clean jerseys of some of the younger players into this ball game. The ensuing kickoff by Colin May is short, coming to the up man. Bruce fumbles it at the 20. It bounces back to his chest. He breaks the tackle up across the 40 to the 42-yard line. He had 1 man to beat. Colin May came up and wrapped up David Bruce on the return. Bruce, lucky bounce. The ball hit him in the chest, fumbled down at the 30. It bounced right back up into his breadbasket, and he was still in stride. Had 1 man to beat. That was the kicker, Colin May, but couldn't quite beat him. But Kennewick getting good field position here at the line, 42-yard line.
43-yard line.
11:51 left here in the ball game, and Kennewick trailing 37-0. Willie Kahn is still the quarterback for the Lions. Up under center, goes back to pass, looking downfield, got some pressure from in the middle, and he gets away from 2 tacklers. He's going to run it across the 40 to the 47-yard line. Finally tripped down as he got across the 45. Coming up, Steve Chapman finally tripping up the quarterback, Willie Kahn, who comes up a little bit limping on his left foot after slipping down on this AstroTurf here. The colder it gets, the slippier the surface gets. We thought we might see the return of Bryce Wager. Wager got the cast off of his broken hand here this week. I think it was on Thursday. He had the cast removed, and Wager is warming up on the sideline. Willie Kahn up at his center again on a 2nd down play. Hands off to Radford. Radford with a gain into Richland territory to the 49. And a late hit going to be coming against the Lions, I believe. David Bruce was shoving and pushing after the play came to a halt. We should have a 15-yard penalty coming against the Lions. A little frustration level here creeping into the ball game as the Lions trail at 37-0 with 11:04 left. So the good run by Radford going to be wiped out by the late hit against David Bruce. Got the ball down to the 49 of Richland, but they'll turn right around and march that back 15 yards. In the ball game, Willie Kahn, 3 of 12 for 73 yards, and his last passing attempt was an interception that led directly to a Richland touchdown. Following the ball game tonight, we'll be naming the Tri-City Oil Sunmarts player of the game. That player will receive a plaque from Tri-City Sunmart, and the athletic department of their school will get $100. Thanks to the folks at Tri-City Sunmart, Tri-City based, Tri-City proud. A 15-yard penalty, going to march it back to the 35-yard line. So it was after the run. They had a second down at the 49. After the personal foul, it's a second down. I'll make that a... that's right here. Okay. Third down coming up, the ball back at the 35-yard line. Now we have a timeout taken on the field. So we'll break away for 60 seconds and come back with 11:04 left in the ball game. It's Richland 37, Kennewick nothing.
Preparation, hard work, and good judgments are the keys to success on the playing field, in the classroom, and in the practice of law. Shea Couple & Klaschke has been serving the legal needs of Tri-Cityans for more than 20 years. Community-spirited and involved in the growth and
Lord's treatment coaches. They can help you win where it really counts in your life.
Down a long situation, ball at the 35-yard line. Kahn takes the snap, rolling to his left. He's going to keep it on the keeper across the 40 out to the 42-yard line for Willie Kahn. So a fourth down as he got the ball back to the original line of scrimmage. 4th and 10 coming up for the Lions here, and obviously they'll go for it, trailing 37-0. Clock running with just over 10.5 left in the ball game. Give Kahn a gain out to the 42-yard line, so a gain of 7 yards on the running play by Willie Kahn. Kahn brings his ball club up, 4th down and 10. Bruce and Radford in the backfield behind him. Kahn back in the pocket, throws up over the middle, going for Mackey. Mackey with a catch at the 30. The defender falls down at the 25, 40, 15, 14-yard line for Mackey with the catch. It wasn't a pretty pass. It hung up forever. The defender fell down. Mackey had to come back for it. He got the ball at the 30. The defender still on the ground as Mackey went sprinting by. And he got the ball down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. So Kennewick, only the second time tonight are they in any serious scoring position. They had the ball in the first half down to the Richland 9. Now at the 19, first down and 10. Ball at the right hash mark. Bruce goes slot right. The eye back is Radford. Radford gets the handoff and quickly cut down in the backfield. Steve Chapman came in and wrapped up Radford as soon as he got the football. Preston Radford, a little gimpy coming up after the running play. Radford's just had a frustrating night tonight, as has the whole Kennewick line offensive unit. The loss back to the 20-yard line. So second down coming after the beautiful play defensively by Steve Chapman. Bruce and Radford in the backfield again behind Kahn. Kahn back to pass, looking to his left. Got a block in the backfield. Has the receiver wide open. Brooks, touchdown, Kennewick. Brooks had to slide to his feet to catch the football, but he caught it in the end zone, seated it. Touchdown, Kennewick. They get on the scoreboard with 9:20 left in the ball game. Bryce Wagner will come on to tack on the extra point here. So the Lions avoid a shutout here tonight. 37-6 to score, and Bryce Wagner will try to attach the extra point here. So Greg Brooks with the touchdown catch from Willie Kahn. Mackey spots it down, and he's going to fake the kick. Mackey back to pass, throws it into the end zone. Wide open is Randy Johnson. He catches it for the two-point conversion. No flags down, so the two-point conversion is good. The pass from Mackey to Johnson, that's good for 3 yards, and the extra point is good. With 9:20, we'll break away for 50 seconds and come back to score. Richland 27, or make that Richland 37, Kennewick 8. On the 42-yard line, the Lions marching down 58 yards, 7 plays, the 20-yard touchdown pass from Kahn to Brooks, the two-point conversion from Mackey to Johnson, and with 9:20 left here in the ballgame, the Lions trail at 37-8. The onside kick attempt here by Bryce Wagner comes up, and Kennewick recovers it and hit the defender at the 49. The kick return, the hands team was out there. Knudsen had the ball, hit him in the hands, but it bounced up, and Kennewick recovered it. In fact, covering it for the Lions on the play was Mike Clark. So Mike Clark, who his first attempted punt return of the ball game had the ball stripped away from him that led to Richland's first touchdown, makes up for it there by recovering the onside kick. So Kennewick, after the onside kick, first down at the Richland 49. Kahn, back to pass, looking to his left, throws out to his left. Mackey tried to make a catch from behind him, the ball thrown a little bit behind him, and a little hard, but it falls incomplete at the 41. Mackey can't come up with a catch, so the clock stops with 9:13 left here in the ball game. Second down at 10 at the 49. At the conclusion of tonight's ball game, we'll select the Tri-City Sunlight Player of the Game. Also, don't forget to listen to the fifth quarter show over on 610 Sports with Frank Murray and Doug Thompson. Kahn up under center again. 3 receivers in the set. I-backs behind him. Bruce gets the handoff. Bruce into the 45-yard line as he tries to roll for a few more yards. Now we've got pushing and shoving in the backfield between Preston Radford and Sam Martin. Some extracurricular stuff happening in the backfield, but no flags come forth. Gain down to the 45 for David Bruce. So a gain of 4 yards on the play. So a third down and 6 coming up for the Lions. Need to get to the Richland 39 for a first down. 8:48, the clock running here in the fourth quarter. Kennewick still, I believe, with all 3 timeouts here in the second half. Johnson is the tight end, tight right. Bruce and Radford are back behind Kahn. Kahn rolling to his left, looking downfield. Going to look for Brooks down towards the 5-yard line. Over the head of Brooks at the 10. And it falls incomplete on the coverage. Back there was David Gonzalez, who has an interception tonight. The ball overthrown, intended for Greg Brooks at the 10. Kahn showing pretty good arm there. He was rolling to his left and still in motion as he tossed that ball. He was standing at about the 47-yard line, tossed that ball in the air and came down to the rest at about the 5. So a fourth down coming up again here for the Lions, who on their last offensive series were able to convert on a fourth down and score their first touchdown of the ball game. See if they can do it here in a 4th and 6. Jeff Hayes into the ball game, goes wide left. Johnson and Mackey are to the right, slot right. Mackey back to pass. Back to pass goes Kahn over the head of Randy Johnson over the middle, incomplete, and the ball goes over to the Bombers on downs. Richland gets the football back here. Again, let's check in with Michael and get an update on the score from the Kennewick Pasco game. Michael?
Yeah, late in the 4th, it's Kennewick 35 and Pasco 0.
All right, so 37-8 the score here with 8:27 here left in the ball game. Richland with the football. Jared Mitchell still in there. In fact, they still have the starting offensive unit in for the Richland Bombers. Richardson goes in motion from left to right. Lions heating up on defense. Lechelt gets the handoff and gets met immediately in the backfield. Defensively for the Lions that time was Randy Oss coming up and meeting Joel Lechelt. As soon as he got the football in the backfield, the loss on the play back to the 43-yard line, loss of a couple of yards. Richland taking this ball in at the 45-yard line, back to the 43 of the Bombers right now. Knudsen goes wide right, Richardson goes right. Johnson lines up the tight end to the left, and Lechelt back behind Mitchell. Mitchell hands the ball to Lechelt again, trying to find running room. Going to be stopped for a loss again by the Lions. Shields coming in there, Austin there. Also on the tackle was Rich Meyer as the black jersey swarm around Joel Lechelt. Another loss on the play back to the 40-yard line. So loss of 3 yards for Lechelt. That's not helping his number total so far tonight. Lechelt with the 9 carries for 7 yards. Leading ball carrier for Richland tonight is Casey Metz with 7 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown. So the ball started at the 40-yard line. Need to get to the Kennewick just inside the 45 for a first down to the Bombers. Jared Mitchell still the quarterback. Back to pass goes Mitchell. Hands it off. You know, he fumbles the football. The ball free on the ground. It looks like Richland recovered it at the 35-yard line. Mitchell went back and faked the handoff. and lost the football as he slipped on the surface. The ball came free, but Richland recovered it at the 35-yard line. So a fourth down coming up, punting situation for the Bombers. And Kennewick will give another shot here offensively. 6:34 the clock running here left in this ball game. 37-8 the score. And Scott Pratt stands at his own 25 to receive this kick from Jeff Leidy. Leidy with a touchdown run tonight for the Bombers. Gets the punt away. End over end short punt hits at the Kennewick 42. Pratt lets it roll inside the 35. Takes a Richland bounce down to the 34-yard line. 6:11 left in the ball game as Kennewick gets the football back at the 34. The Kennewick Braves winning that game over Pasco tonight at Edgar Brown and spoiling the Bulldogs' homecoming game tonight by a score of 35-0. So Kennewick, the third-ranked team in the state, keeps its unblemished mark alive as the Braves try for a Big Nine championship outright this year. And by the way, Kennewick with the win wins the Kona Cup. Kahn back to pass, throwing it for Turner. Turner had the football in his hands at the 41-yard line, but couldn't hang on as Turner thought about heading upfield before he collected the football all the way. The ball falls incomplete, stops the clock with 6:01 left, and a second down and 10 forthcoming by the Lions. Ball at the 34-yard line, left hash mark. Brooks goes wide left. Mackey and Turner come wide right. Preston Radford and Bruce in the backfield behind Kahn. Handoff goes to Bruce. Up the middle, breaks the tackle at the 40. 45-yard line, tripped up as he gets across the 47. Finally making the stop was David Gonzalez for the Richland Bombers, but not before David Bruce gets the first down. Just one tackler away from breaking that run was David Bruce, but couldn't quite get away from the arm tackle of David Gonzalez. Got a first down for the Lions at the 47-yard line. And 13 yards for Bruce. First down and 10, ball to the left hash mark. Kahn back to pass, going to roll to his right, looking downfield, throws on the run, the ball wobbling, coming down to Mackey, gets to the ball at the 8, walks into the end zone, touchdown, but there's a flag down at the 18. Could be defensive pass interference against Richardson. Aaron Richardson on the coverage. Joe Mackey got the football at the 8, walked into the end zone as Richardson fell down. I believe this will be defensive pass interference and should be a touchdown, good for the Kennewick Lions. The official makes the call, holding on the defense against Richland, touchdown for the Lions. Once again, not a very pretty pass by Willie Kahn. The Diane Quayle coming down at the 15-yard line. The defender, Aaron Richardson, falling down on the play, and Mackey just had to camp under it, collect the football, and walk into the end zone. Touchdown for Kennewick with 5.5 left in the ball game. They trail 37-14, and Kennewick will go for the two-point conversion. Kahn walks up under center. Ryan Rumbley straddles the football at the 3-yard line. Tight end set here for the Lions. Close head backfield. They're going to pitch it left to Radford. Radford running for the end zone. It's good. The two-point conversion for Radford. Good left. And with 5.5 minutes left, we'll break away for 60 seconds and come back to score. Richland 37, Kennewick 16.
Are you a risk taker?
Are you willing to up and done? The Pasco Bulldogs falling to the Kennewick Braves 35-0. Well, Kennewick's back on the scoreboard again. 37-8 or 37-16 is the score now. It's 5.5 left, and they'll try an onside kick again, which was successful, although they weren't able to do anything with the football once they got the ball back. The pass play good for 47 yards from Willie Kahn to Joe Mackey, and the Radford two-point conversion makes it 37-16. The onside kick coming down, and Kennewick's got a shot at it. The ball free, and Kennewick collects it again at the 37-yard line. Beautiful onside kick by Bryce Lager. Well, Kennewick making things interesting here. Still lots of time in the ball game, and Kennewick still with 3 timeouts left. Ball at the 36-yard line, recovered by the Lions. Looks Looks like Justin Wagner recovered the onside kick for the Lions at the Kennewick 36. .5:29 here left in the ball game. Willie Kahn up at her center. Throws that backfield behind him. Kahn back to pass. Got some pressure. Going to be sacked in the backfield by Richland. Coming in and making the tackle is Brian Fisher. Sacking the quarterback Willie Kahn for a loss back around the 40-yard line. Loss of 4 yards on the sack. Kahn has been sacked 4 times so far tonight. And Kennewick will take a timeout. So we'll break away for 60 seconds and come back as well. With 5:12 left in the ball game, it's Richland 37, Kennewick 16.
$100 cash back with the purchase of select Frigidaire appliances.
Following an onside kick successfully recovered by the Lions. Well, I think it was Justin Wagner that recovered the onside kick. There was a host of black jerseys that came down with a football. Willie Kahn up in the center, back to pass. Boy, hands it off to David Bruce. Bruce on the dive play up the middle into the 35-yard line of Richland before he's tackled down. On the stop for the Bombers was Brian Fisher after David Bruce got a game down to the 35-yard line. So a third down coming up for the Lions. Kahn quickly under center again. Back to pass, rolling to his right. Throwing to his right for Mackey. And, well, who was unintended for? Went over the head of Johnson and underneath of Mackey. Could be a blown route by one of the receivers because Johnson and Mackey were within 5 yards of each other downfield. So a fourth down situation again coming up for the Lions here. The last fourth down attempt was overthrown over the middle to Randy Johnson. Now we've got too many receivers for the Lions. Brooks is finally coming in, and Willie Kahn will go for it on 4th and 9. Kahn back to pass, rolling to his left. Going to go for Brooks in the end zone. What a catch, Jonathan! No, he didn't catch it. Randy Johnson had it at the 5. In fact, I think the pass was not intended for Randy Johnson. I think Johnson intercepted the intended pass for the receiver, Jeff Hayes. Hayes was in the pattern, streaking down at the 10, and Randy Johnson comes up holding his right shoulder. But Randy Johnson came from nowhere and almost caught that football at the 5, but the ball falls incomplete, and Richland gets it back after the turnover on downs at the 35-yard line. Did have a penalty flag on the play, personal foul against the Kennewick Lions, and the Bombers will decline it and take the football at its own 35-yard line. 4:42. I don't know if this game's ever going to get over. We're after 10 o'clock in the evening here on this homecoming night in Kennewick. Randy Johnson really sore on his right shoulder as he stretched out for that football. He sits down on the bench and will be attended to by the training staff here for the Lions. Got some new people in new jerseys into the ball game for the Richland Bombers. New quarterback. Trying to get that number here for you in just a moment. 4:42 left as the Richland back goes the quarterback running to his left. Going to be hauled down for a loss in the backfield at the 31-yard line. The new quarterback is Ryan Moore, a 6 feet 1 inch, 195-pound sophomore quarterback. Loss back to the 32-yard line, so a loss of 3 yards on the play. Coming up for the Lions on the stop defensively was Randy Oss again. Randy's had a pretty good ball game here tonight. Aaron Richardson will check out of the Richland offensive set. Jumberg is still in there. At least there's number 12 in there. I believe that's Josh Jumberg. The quarterback, Ryan Moore, up under center. Stevenson in the backfield behind him. Stevenson gets the handoff up to the 30, slips down at the 34-yard line. First Lion up to make the stop for Kennewick was Matt Hall. Stevenson gets it near the original line of scrimmage, but a third down coming up. Ball at the 34-yard line. Clock running with just over 3.5 left in this ball game. At the conclusion, the official conclusion of tonight's ball game, we'll select the Tri-City Sunmark player of the game. So hang on for that. Richland again with the football. Actually, now Mitchell comes back in on a third down and long situation. Got a flag down. The screen pass to Stevenson. Stevenson up across the 35 to the 45-yard line as he breaks the tackle and slides out of bounds at the 47. But a flag down on the near sideline, right at the line of scrimmage. They have a procedure call coming against Richland. The line judge on the near side throwing the flag, and we have procedure call against the Bombers. So this play will come back. The nice screen pass and a run by Paul Stevenson will go for naught. Molly Crusoe asking for an explanation. Came down here on the near sideline. I'd be willing to bet that the wide receiver did not cover the end man of the line of scrimmage. If you don't have a tight end in the set, then the receiver has to be up on the line of scrimmage to be the eligible man at the end of the line of scrimmage. Evidently, the receiver on the near sideline, which I believe was Goplin, was not up far enough in the set, not near enough the line of scrimmage, so an illegal formation to call. And 5 yards, they march it back. Third down and long. Mitchell, the quarterback now, in for the Richland Bombers. Takes the handoff, throwing it up over the middle. Gilbert wants to catch to the 45. Up to midfield, breaks the tackle. Gilbert racing up the far sideline. He's gone! Gilbert to the 10, the 5, touchdown Richland. Mitchell and Gilbert connecting again. The defender fell down at the 45-yard line. Gilbert broke one tackle at the 35 and was off to the races. Josh Gilbert with another big touchdown play for the Richland Bombers. Mitchell coming in long enough to take the snap on the third down at the 29-yard line. 71 yards on the pass play from Jared Mitchell to Josh Jumberg. Colin May will try to tack on the extra point here. The spot down, the kick up. It's up, and it's good. With 2:29 left, we'll break away for 60 seconds and come back to your score. It's Richland 44. Kennewick 16.
If you're car shopping, there's something you should know. Sometimes the lowest financing rate isn't really the best bargain. But how do you know? Visit Giesa Federal Credit Union, where you'll find plenty of car buying.
And then Jared Mitchell comes in on a third down at the 29, connects with Josh Jumberg on a 71-yard touchdown play. The ensuing kickoff from May coming down to Pratt at the 15 to the 20, 25-yard line. Racing toward the far sideline, gets up to the 30, and finally wrestled out of bounds on the far sideline. And we have a flag coming down, or is that a beanbag? Beanbag says Marcus Scott where he went out of bounds. 2:21 left in the ball game. The return by Scott Pratt up across the 30 to the 31-yard line. So after Kennewick scored 16 unanswered points, Richland comes in long enough with the first team to score on a 71-yard scoring strike. The drive, 71 yards in 4 plays. 40. Kennewick back on offense. Handoff goes to Bruce up the middle across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Right. Kahn up under center. Back to pass goes Kahn. Looking downfield, throwing for the intended receiver. Brooks fell down at the 43. The ball falls incomplete. Turner and the lanky number 10 come wide right. Opposite eye behind the quarterback in the backfield. Pass over the middle of the field, almost intercepted downfield on the coverage for Richland. Was spotted at the 36. No, they're going to go Bryce Wagger with a fake. Wagger tried to throw it to Scott Pratt. Threw it behind him. The ball falls incomplete. And 1:43 left in this ball game. 44-16 is the score. New quarterback for the Richland Bombers. Ryan Moore back in there at quarterback. Whole new offensive line for the Bombers as well. First down at the 36. Moore back, hands it off to the backs in the backfield, and a host of black jerseys tying him up. Kennewick with some new jerseys. Nick Chacon is taking care of the center duties right now. Wide receiver going wide right is John Trevino. Ryan Moore up there center. Moore hands it off to Lechelt. Lechelt running left. Breaks the tackle. Gets it inside the 35 down to the 34-yard line. 56 seconds left in the ball game. 44-16 is the score here. Steve, why don't you go ahead and start tallying up Kennewick's numbers here. Jacob Stanfield is playing left tackle for the Bombers here. Third down at the 35 of Kennewick. Ryan Moore looks over the defensive front. Hands it off to Lechelt again. Lechelt's caught in the backfield, breaks the tackle, gets to the 30. Lechelt's still on his feet to the 25-yard line. Still on his feet, trying to wrestle, and finally goes out of bounds at about the 22. And the clock's still running here. Let's take a 60-second break and come back. It's the Richland Bombers 44, the Kennewick Lions 16.
No matter what the score of today's game or which team wins, you can't win when you're playing